coaster. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's a lift. Right, good. Any questions so far?
How old?
What?
How old?
How old? Yeah, fuck grammar, we're in a hurry. How lazy is that? How old? Not how old are you, or would you mind telling us how old you are? How old?
28.
Well, have a guess. How old do you think I am?
12.
You think I'm 12? Well, you shouldn't even be having those kind of thoughts about me then. Do you know they've done that in Mexico? Do you know what the age of consent is in Mexico? It's 12. That's one way to deal with a paedophilia problem, isn't it? I imagine they've still got a problem. She looked 12 to me. I didn't always used to do this for a living. I used to work for an oil company. It was the same sort of thing. It was telling lies to strangers. But that was a bit more awkward. That was much more, yeah, don't worry about Nigeria. That'll be fine. When I did used to work for a living, I was always very jealous of the women that I worked with because women have the best excuse for a day off sick. I love a day off sick. Marvellous. Duvet, very nice and comfy. And women have the best excuse. The best excuse, as we all know, is women's problems. And the reason women's problems is the best excuse is because women's problems is the end of a conversation. Why didn't you come in yesterday? Women's problems. I like to think if I was the boss, things would be slightly different. Women's problems? Tits or fanny? Which is it? Maybe I could have a look. Well, I suppose I should really tell you a little bit about myself. Before I do, can I just ask, you two there, you look quite young. How old are you?
18.
You're 18?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you adding 6 years to your age? Because you think I might be a fucking idiot? You're 18?
Yeah.
But you've got a growth hormone problem of some description. Not even, you're genuinely 18?
Yeah.
God, I've forgotten how young an 18-year-old boy looks like. Is that a bad thing to say? It's quite bad, isn't it? And your boyfriend, how old is he? What?
It's my brother.
It's your brother? Well, don't shag him then. I noticed that your shirt, is that a fashion thing? It looks like it's covered in spunk. But honestly, stand up and turn around. It's an amazing shirt. It's probably... What? Come on. Look at that. It's quite a cool design when you look at it closely, but if you just glance at it, it looks like a plasterer's radio. That is a term used in the dogging fraternity, I believe. As in, I was out for the evening with Stan Collymore, I drove away with a car looking like a plasterer's radio. Well, I should, I suppose, talk about myself a little bit. I grew up in Slough in the 1970s. If anyone wants to know what Slough was like in the 1970s, go there now. Actually, I went back recently. There's a sign as you drive in, it says Slough twinned with Montreux. I'll tell you this much, they're not identical twins. There's no chance of getting those mixed up. In fact, the only thing you need to know about Slough is one sign that we've got at the end of the high street. We've got one tourist information sign. Most towns of any note have many. We've just got the one. You know the ones that say, you are here? Got one that says, you are here, but someone's added a question mark. So it now reads, you are here. Your travel agent is a cunt. I was educated in Cambridge University. Well, that's not an uncommon response. People think because you went to Cambridge, you're a little bit smug, a little bit up yourself. Not the case. The only reason I went to Cambridge is because I got 4 A's at A-level. Of course, the only reason I got 4 A's at A-level is because when I was at school I didn't have that many friends and, I didn't have a girlfriend, certainly, and so no one would have sex with me. I used to go home every night like a good little boy and do my homework. Yeah. So next time you meet someone who's a bit overeducated and pompous, don't think to yourself, God, they're intimidating. Think, no good with a poontang. I got my big break in show business doing the Royal Variety performance a couple of years ago. It was quite a good gig, but then I had to meet Prince Charles afterwards, and that was a bit awkward. Because, what do you say? I didn't know what to say to him. He didn't know what to say to me, But he managed to cobble something together. That's his job, isn't it? Other than waiting for his mum to die. He cobbled something. He said, very funny indeed, very good deadpannery. Now, we all know deadpannery is not a real word. But it's his mum's English, he can say what he fucking likes. The great thing about being on TV a little bit is you get asked to do interesting things. I was asked last year to go on Countdown. I couldn't believe my luck. I thought, brilliant, I'll definitely do that. Because I've always had a thing for Carol Vorderman. I've always liked her. Not just because she's fit. No. Also for her mind. Although that's not what I tend to say. I tend to say I wouldn't mind fucking her brains out.